Hello and welcome to glennzb TV for Thursday, the show that puts glennzb up your Periscope of bringing New Zealand to the world and the world to New Zealand. I can see arguments for and against the use of seclusion rooms in school. Apparently, some schools have been taking it a bit far and have been putting recalcitrant kids into cupboards, locking them in there, and this can do emotional harm. Certainly, I think if you're going to be the boy who lived and defeat Voldemort, and thereby saving the world of magic and muggles, forever, or at least until your cursed child starts fiddling around with time turners, I think it's good. And in fact, I'm thinking about getting one in my house, a seclusion room. I'm not going to lock my kids in it. I would lock myself in it. It would work the other way around. It'd have a lock on the inside. At the moment I'm just using the toilet for that. And they say, "What are you doing in there?" And I say, "I'm doing a poo." I'm not doing a poo, I'm just hiding. I can't really see the cons, actually, behind the seclusion rooms. We had Education Minister Hekia Parata on the show, on the My Hosting Breakfast on News Talk ZB this morning. She's leaving at the next election. She won't be in charge of that anymore, and I'm going to miss her. And it's not because I think that she's any good at her job, because she's got that manner about her which makes me not believe anything that she says. But the reason I'm going to miss her is because I've only just really, with confidence, figured out how to spell her last name. And it's simple, really. And yet, this is the conflict I was faced with every time we interviewed her and I had to write it down somewhere. So I've nailed that now, and now she's gone, and there'll probably be somebody with a name that's even harder to spell in charge of things then. South Africa, boy oh boy, it's a funny old place, isn't it, South Africa? Like, for a long, long time, I feel like it's not really a place I've got a massive desire to spend a lot of time at. They've had this sort of corruption report come out. Turns out that Jacob Zuma, he's not a good guy. And they're having protests. And then even the protests, you've got other people getting involved with the protests who just basically want to carjack people. Carjacking's a big thing in South Africa, isn't it? And it has been for a long time. And it worries me because when I come to work in the morning, I found myself, there's a set of traffic lights just down here, and even though there's no traffic at all, they take a very long time to change. Most mornings I'm sitting there, and they've timed it exactly. They stop short just at that moment where I think, bugger it, I'm just going to drive through a red light. There's obviously something wrong with them. Then they will change. But it's about 2 minutes. It feels like about 2 minutes. It's probably only about 1:45, but it feels like 2. Very frustrating. And I just wonder if I was working in South Africa, I would get very nervous sitting at a set of traffic lights for that long. You see what I'm saying? I feel like I've trivialised a very important current event there. It's kind of what I do. Finally, speaking of trivial events, resource consent has been issued for Auckland's Skypath Harbour Bridge crossing. So this is kind of like, as far as I can figure it out, it's kind of like a big hydro slide hooked on underneath the Auckland Harbour Bridge. Again, it's just out there. But there's no water. You walk it, and I think you can cycle it as well. Sounds really dumb to me, but it's going ahead. We had a bloke on from Skypath this morning who thinks that in busy times, in peak times, in the summer holidays, they might get as many as 13,000 people paying to use this. To me, I feel like that the kind of people who would be interested in walking through a tube over a bridge that you can drive across for free are the kind of people who walk down a new bit of motorway the day before it opens to cars, and the kind of people who walk through tunnels the day before they're opened. I feel like they might be those people, and I wonder if they're going to be regular users of it. I think they just sort of get all excited in the moment, don't they? Those people. There's a lot of excitement around new things opening. And given that they will be able to walk through that at any time, I wonder will they be wanting to drive through it the day before it opens? And will it be big enough to do that? A lot of questions around the Sky Path this morning. I am glennzb, asking the hard questions. Thank you so much for having me up your Periscope. I'll see you back here again tomorrow. More. I'm going to see if I can harden those questions up even further.